Welcome back, gods and goddesses, to the Gifted Goddess channel, where I channel my gifts for the collective advantage in a multitude of ways. And I encourage you to not only seek your gifts, but to find meaningful ways to employ them in any way they, your spiritual team, or the Most High deems fit. Welcome back. Welcome back. I just heard something about the Atlantic. So you can live along the Atlantic coast. I heard the Gulf Coast as well. Something about island coastal vibes are significant. Okay, so whether you live on an island, near a beach, someone lives near water. Something about water is heavily significant. Rainfall as well could be a confirmation. Heavy on the precipitation of it all, okay? Yeah, I'm just seeing a storm like I just heard a tsunami of emotions. Okay, class, so welcome back. You know, when I take my day off, spirit is ready to come through. Okay, yeah, I'm just seeing a high wall of water. San Andreas is significant. Okay, the movie, sorry. I believe that's what it's called. Okay, so the area San Andreas could be significant. LA definitely significant. Okay, so again, coastal vibes, energy. Someone's name could be Dwayne Johnson. But what I'm getting here is to channel the energy or the message of this film. It is a disaster film starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Okay, a search and rescue helicopter pilot who must save his estranged wife and daughter after a massive earthquake along California's San Andreas fault lines. Along California's San Andreas fault devastates Los Angeles and San Francisco. Okay, so also the movie just follows this family's perilous journey to reunite amidst chaos, featuring large-scale destruction, a tsunami. Okay, I'm here in Indonesia as I say that, an earthquake, a secondary earthquake, and Paul Giamatti playing the seismologist who predicts the disaster. Okay, this came out in 2011 and 110 million was the budget. This came out May 29th, 2015. Yeah, something about a father-daughter dynamic or duo is significant. Okay. So you could be experiencing this revelation at this time. Someone's name could be Andrea, first, middle, or last. You could live there in California. LA, definitely significant. Okay, as I mentioned, Indonesia. This is not the first time. Something about. Okay, so the earth is basically recorrecting itself, like course correcting. I have channeled this energy before. I kind of tiptoed around it. If you can listen with discernment, right, you can hear this kind of through my messaging. As I always say, there's levels and layers to this, but I'm being called to speak very bluntly on the matter. What's funny is I got on here thinking it was time for me to do another reading, which is all about love, and I'm just hearing there ain't no love in it. So basically, we must be taken out of it, like out of the course we are going on, because we're headed for destruction. I channeled this before. Tectonic plates have shifted, right? This is the next thing we'll see in the news. Okay. We've already seen Jamaica have one of the worst storms with Hurricane Melissa. Okay. This is not only a spiritual forecast, a prediction. Yeah, my ear is ringing. So right now, family, what we're being called to do is to prepare her, hunker down, bunker down. Okay. If you've been on this channel, you already know let me just say this. I'm a humble person. I'm not a person that is braggadocious, so it's very uncomfortable for me to say. I have already explained that the fouls of a particular person, right? The fouls that are being exposed. I had already let you guys know that it would be more egregious than you thought, right? Than we thought, right? As no one could be prepared for what's to come is what I'm hearing, but what we heard. So typically, that's just the tip of the iceberg is what I'm getting. Okay, so I've already told you the fouls were worse. I've already told you there's boots on the ground and planes being sent and military officials, okay, WAR being significant, okay, on all levels. What I've been getting all day is Geostorm, okay? And, I love to try to ignore things, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer as I say this. Yeah, tomatoes are significant. It is actually time for us to do what we're called to do. I'm seeing like birds and leaves. I've mentioned several times the sand people, right? I didn't know which people of the sand, and now we see because we are actively in a situation with them. If you go back to the video, you might want to sit down for this. You can see the message quite clearly. This will be a domino effect, okay? I'm hearing a domino effect of catastrophic events, okay? I definitely hate to be the one to report this, but yeah, we definitely need to prepare. Growing food will be imperative. Okay, storing food will be imperative. Okay, I'm seeing people canning food or jarring food, like pickling food for long preservation. Okay, we are going to have to sustain ourselves, sustain Earth better. Okay, we haven't done a good job of stewarding the planet as she would need. Okay, so I was having a conversation and I was saying how every day should be Earth Day, and yeah, earthquakes definitely significant. I was saying how every day should be Earth Day and we should respect the Earth as we should. Okay, April 22nd is Earth Day. Okay, so that date could be significant. I was definitely picking up on April 15th, like tax season. Okay. But yeah, I was definitely getting Geostorm. I was getting just a plethora of things, okay? Another panorama, okay? Some type of event like we had in 2020, okay? Something being airborne, right? Whether this is, something airborne like a disease, or I'm hearing norovirus, okay? Something about noro or just a virus. I'm hearing. Okay, what I'm also getting is something coming through the air. Asteroids, okay. Things that are exchanged in the air due to WAR, right? Okay, yeah, it's just giving me balls of fire. Like, as I said, super uncomfortable to channel this energy. I won't be on long. I only have 26 minutes. What it's giving me is we don't have a lot of time. Okay, something will be occurring rapidly. This is what the so-called elites know. Okay, that a geostorm is imminent. They know all this is supposed to be coming crashing down at once. Okay, the system and structures that we have created upon Earth, the matrices that we have lived within, okay, are no longer sustainable. A second simulation is no longer sustainable. God, the Most High, universe, Earth, whatever you want to call it, I'm getting two different things, okay? I'm getting Father God, Mother Earth energy. Like, God is course correcting us. I was drawn to a I was drawn to watch a preaching today from a preacher, Stephen Darby. And if you know, you know, right? So I had several confirmations through the video that it was supposed to be watched, right? But what I got, something about tomatoes are significant. Hydroponic grown tomatoes. Okay, seedless things, right? That's not the natural order of things. We have literally made ourselves God, right? Trying to create our own things, create our own food, make it seedless. In this video, in his preaching, his lecture, a very educated pastor, Destin Ministries. If you want to look it up, just look up Pastor Stephen Darby. This one in particular was called America's um let me see, America's payment for perversion. Okay, I have discussed this in a different sort of way, but he basically described the stock market crashing, right? Because of, you know, severe debts due to other places and basically the money market being trash, right? I've already talked about this. I did a video on my Truth Be Told podcast that was called The Golden Calf, right? And it talked about how I'm hearing the Wolf of Wall Street, the Bull of Wall Street. So the Wolf of Wall Street could be significant. These wolves in sheep's clothing that live on Wall Street, okay, but the idolization of money. The Bull on Wall Street is akin to the golden calf in the story, right? So this is the real idol of America. This, because we idolize money, things, possessions over things that money can't buy, people, humanity, right? So all that has to be course corrected. But the bull on Wall Street being basically the full grown golden calf, right? A calf is just a full grown, a bull is just a full grown calf. Okay. So the beast is full grown. This is the beast that was discussed. Okay. I'm just hearing suffrage, the insufferable nature of suffrage, like how we have turned a blind eye to suffering here across the United States, all across the world. We send aid for WAR, other places, but we don't send actual aid to other places, right? I've said this time and time again. In 2026, we should not have people going hungry, unhoused, things of that nature, children being intentionally miseducated in the school. Everything is backwards. It's all disgusting. And these systems and circumstances that they have built for us to, that we have been engulfed in, the Gulf is significant, the Gulf of Mexico, the oil is significant. Okay. Okay. We can no longer exist like we've been existing. We can no longer pretend like we don't know or understand what's going on, okay? Though they have control over a majority of things, we have enabled this as well. We have been um an unwilling participant at times, an active participant at times, right? Falling for the tricks and schemes of the enemy, valuing things over people, over humanity. Okay. We know that we can do better than this, right? And I'm just hearing judgment has been called, like things that were underneath the surface, okay, that were underground are being turned up. Me, I'm getting a kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Also, I'm hearing, okay, yeah, that's it. So, too many people cooking up different things when it's not in the true nature of God. This is not how earth was intended to go, right? We were sent here to steward it in a upright, prosperous way is what I'm hearing. Everything was provided for us on the earth, right? We got too smart for our own good, thinking we know everything. I'm seeing the serpent energy, right? So, we have the knowledge, right? And we all know that this is backwards as hell. But having the knowledge is one thing, applying it is where the wisdom resides, okay? Yeah. We should have stopped this a long time ago, right? So now we're in a place where we're at the point of no return, where I'm just hearing animals, I'm seeing like Baphomet, right? Bilal, whatever, okay? These people have been acting as the enemy on earth, if you will, right? Crimes against humanity, right? So if it's negatively affecting humanity, it is not of God, it is not of source, right? So, because of their ignorance, because of their pride, their ego, their need to maintain control. At the end of the day, this is all about money, oil, land, possessions, conquering places, right? The overtaking of people and governments were going backward instead of forward, right? So now everything has to be put to a stop. Everything has to be returned to its natural order of things. We are supposed to have dominion over the land and treat it as such. I'm seeing Native American energy, okay? You're not supposed to have dominion over people, okay? People are free to do as they please as long as you're not doing things in a negative way. It's calling me, I'm being called to discuss a paper I wrote in college that basically discussed the effects of our imprint as humans on the world. And one of the things I touched on was oil. And I said, think of oil. Okay, think of the earth as your body, right? Not hard to imagine, mostly water, okay, some land, but we're like, what, 80% water, as is the earth. So, as above, so below, okay? So, think of the earth as your body. Now think about that on a different level. I'm hearing an esoteric level. Okay, the earth has a soul. It's giving me, I just heard in the Torah, it's giving me nature, right? The spirit of nature. That's why the Native Americans review or revere, we have a deep respect for the whole of God's creation, right? They do things humanely, understanding that everything has chi, everything has energy, right? The trees, the water, the land have feeling, the plants, the earth, the animals, all connected in the circle of life. Not saying they're the only people that believe this, but they really revere it in such a way that they they call peace to it. Like, you see what I'm saying? They are I'm hearing a peaceful natured spirit. So someone listening could be of Native American descent. But what I'm getting is I heard indigenous as well. Okay. I mentioned that in one of my last readings. Difference between indigenous and Native American. Okay. But the native people, okay, typically, let's just be clear, black and brown people have a certain connection with the earth. Okay. Our ancestors were very understanding of the respect needed to support the earth, to give to the planet and God, right? What I said in this paper is imagine your body as the earth as your body, whatever have you, and you extracting all the oil out of your body. What would happen to you? You would be brittle, crack up, cake up, be deficient in some areas or another, right? Brittle, break, right? You need moisture to survive, right? So imagine now what is going on beneath the earth's surface as the oil that we so crudely fight over. Crude oil is significant. Yeah, I'm just seeing prices going up and down in oil. Yeah, this is gonna go left. I'm hearing it's not gonna go how they think it's gonna go. They're trying to maintain and hold on to the systems that they put in place for as long as they can. This is what the pastor was talking about as well. But imagine now what happens to the earth when we take all the oil out. Okay. That's why you have tectonic plates shifting, cracking, breaking. Okay. There's fault lines all around the earth. Okay. So movies like Geostorm, San Andreas, things like that, those aren't for play is what I'm hearing. Those movies will be highly significant coming here soon. I've mentioned this before. I have to go back and find what video it is. If you look on my videos, you will see flags on certain things. Okay. That's how you know it's a reading pertaining to the country or something larger than just love reading, spirituality, blah, 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 right? Okay. I'm hearing this is a form, like we are at spiritual warfare. This is the enemy, them, those in charge, the elitists, those ones being exposed for, I'm hearing the Baphometness, the underhanded underground things they were doing down to these islands and in these different places. Okay, that's the work of the enemy. That is clearly not the work of God, and God's will coming into play, right? I'm hearing a land before time, like a land before time. So dinosaurs, right? Ice age, right? You get what I'm saying? Things have to be course corrected, okay? And that includes us. So unfortunately, it takes for something catastrophic for us to get it. This has to be course corrected. We are supposed to be embracing unity. This is basically going to force us together. Every knee shall bow. And this is exactly what the pastor was saying in his video as well, right? So as I said, it's called America's Payment for Perversion. Okay, so if you want to look that up, it's on YouTube. Trust me, this is a pastor you want to look into, regardless of your faith. What you need to understand is now is the time to just repent and okay, let's not even look at it from a super religious standpoint, okay? Because that's what gets people so divided and in their feelings, and you miss the message because you're too busy worried about the messenger, quote unquote, which Messiah, which person, which religion is right. Now is the time to get right with the Most High. Call your relatives to get right with the Most High. Everyone needs to course correct themselves. This is not a time to look outward. This is a time to look inward. Are you doing what you are supposed to do? Are you living upright? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Now is the time. I just saw Gabriel. Okay. So, y'all know what Archangel Gabriel is and is about. Okay. The time is now. Judgment is basic. Judgment is upon us. And it is time for us to stop talking about it and be about it. We've heard the stories, we've heard the lessons. You got the information. It's time to practice what we preach or what has been preached, okay? To come together, do what we need to do, focus on your spiritual walk with the Most High, focus on unity. Okay, don't focus on right and wrong religions. Now is not the time for that. I had posted the other day, in this time we're living in right now, it's going to take for people to know God beyond religion, to have a honest connection with the Most High. Talk to God like your best friend, okay? We have to clear this up. It is a time to get ourselves in alignment, okay? To ascend to our highest self. The vibration on earth is too negative. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation, okay? Something about the entire world, okay? It's the energy of that kids movie. What is it called? The Demon Hunters movie. Look at the messaging. I did a video on this on my other YouTube channel as well, Truth Be Told podcast. You could even Now is not the time to even focus on negativity. We need to embrace positive spirits, positive energy. Keep yourself uplifted. Do not spread hate. Now is a time for love, okay? If you remember in that movie, if you haven't watched the little movie on Netflix, I don't even know if it's still on there. The basic gist of the story is we are in perilous times. You're either working for good or bad. You're either doing good or bad in the world, okay? Forget right or wrong. Are you sowing seeds of love? Or are you sowing seeds of hate? Okay, that it's very clear which side you're on, okay? Now is not the time for mindless bickering, for sowing seeds of doubt in people, for beef. Okay, I briefly touched on this 50 Cent and T.I. beef. Now, this is not the time for that. Do you think, I mentioned this in my latest podcast, do you think the monks came from where they are all the time, not entertaining a soul, to walk through America for a peace walk, a walk of peace? They did not do that for their leisure. They did not do that for a photo op, nor for our goddamn entertainment. Okay? This is literally light workers being called across the earth to light up the energy. And you guys are not getting the message. You hear these things, you see these things, and then you continue on with the negativity, going on social media, spreading slander and gossip in everybody's business. I can't tell you how many times I've seen grown adults, 40-year-old women, so enthralled in celebrity drama, Cardi B situations, that they're online talking about, oh, they got screenshots of when somebody posted this and they screen recorded this and did. What is really going on in your mind? I just heard loco en la cabeza. People are really sick headed. What does that do for you? That does not feed your children. How does that affect the planet? What are you focused on? This is a call to consciousness. If you don't listen to anything else, family, please understand this. This is bigger than all of us, okay? And we are all here to do our due diligence to speak life into the earth, to eat better, to drink better, so we sleep better, so we create better, so we are better humans. Work on healing yourself so that you can contribute another healed human to society. The more healed humans we create, the more we lighten the load of earth, the more we lighten the energy, okay? This is a call to action. Don't worry about everyone else. It sounds like a tall order, but it's not. All we have to do is remember, okay, our energy affects other people's energy. So if you're being negative, that spreads to other people like a ripple effect, okay? There's a reason why if somebody comes in with a stank attitude, everybody's day might be thrown off. What you have to understand is one, try your best. It's not a call to be perfect. Try your best. Effort is everything, okay? To do what you know to be best. If you are having negative energy experiences, bad emotions, or whatever, do not project that onto others. Stop speaking so negatively. Work on your negative thought patterns. If we all took an oath or had an understanding or an agreement to say, at the end of the day, you will worry about you, and we all agree not to contribute any negativity in the world, any more negativity into the world, how much better would the world be? It's a very simple thing to do. You just have to worry about you. This is not for you to go out and cast judgment and point fingers at everybody else. When you point the finger, how many are looking back? When you point one finger at other people, you have four turned back at you. Look within, focus on the man in the mirror, focus on being the best person you can be, so that energy goes out like a ripple effect, okay? We cannot entertain these energies anymore. We cannot entertain the Zeus networks, the housewives fighting. As much as y'all would like to think, right? God appreciates your tithes, right? You go to church and you're performative. You go to different religious places, houses of worship, okay, to be performative. If you aren't, then I ain't talking to you, okay? But when you leave there, what do your actions say? How are you speaking to other people? How are you treating other people? Casting shadows of doubt, sowing seeds of negativity, doubt, fear, drama, chaos, okay? We have to stop that, okay? We are in a time that is bigger than us. It is going to require the bigger person out of all of us, okay? Now's not the time to be focused on menial things. As I said, your tithes of money, okay, cool. You're willing to give money. Are you willing to stop fornicating? That's what really needs to happen, okay? Are you willing to stop indulging in the substances, the beverages, the nose candy, the things that have you not in the best character? Yeah. The fighting, the bickering, the arguing for what? We have two black men on the world stage beefing, quote unquote, over what? A rap war? Are y'all serious? So now sowing seeds of hatred, projecting hatred back and forth, getting everyone's energy tied into this. I need y'all to really get this. I need y'all to land this lesson. I really need you to pick up what I'm putting down. Sowing seeds of hatred with your energy every time you laugh and you comment under a video or a post and y'all laughing about them talking about someone's deceased mother or showing pictures of someone's wife that are not of the most flattering way. That is the enemy using them, and you don't think you're off the hook. You are a willing participant. Is any of that doing any good? What does that do for your life? Stop entertaining foolishness and focus. Look at the bigger picture. It's no coincidence that this is Holy Week, Holy Month for damn near every religion. Okay? This is a time everybody knew was coming, but the people, I'm hearing sheeple, okay? You were led astray, okay? The shepherds, the people in charge, did not do their job because they're too busy trying to maintain power and fornicate on islands and do strange things with children and things, right? Orifices and bodily fluids and functions, okay? They're distracted on corrupting the youth. Speak life into the youth. Speak life into your children. Speak life into situations. If you have nothing positive to say, then say nothing. If you have nothing positive to contribute to a conversation, a energy, a place, a person, a circumstance, remove yourself. Figure out what it is about yourself that you have nothing positive to say. Figure out what it is going on with you that you need to do to get yourself in a more positive energy for self. This is a time of reflection, a call to consciousness. It is time to uplift the planet. The energy is too heavy here, it's too stank. Okay, this stank negative energy and everybody worried about the wrong things. Everybody's still worried about what's going on Friday night. Friday can be significant. Too worried about what's going on with the weekend. What happens when there's nowhere to go to on the weekend? Then what you going to do? Now you'll have to reflect. 2020 was just a warm-up round. That was just getting you prepared. But y'all still don't get it. We're still not landing these lessons. We really have to land these lessons, family. It is time to evolve. We are to be better than this, better humans than this, better communities than this, better humans to humanity than this, a better world, a better society. We're meant for more than this. It is time to grow, okay? It is time to grow. It is time to evolve. It is time to become our best selves so we can see where this really can go. We can grow the world into a beautiful place, right? But it starts with creating happy, healed, purpose-led, fulfilled individuals individually. Focus on what your purpose is. Everybody's wondering what the purpose of life is to find your purpose and walk in that. Surprise. You are life itself and you're wondering what the purpose of life is. The purpose of life is finding the purpose of you and walking in alignment with that purpose and doing what you need to do for the world in your purpose. If you don't know how to do that, look at your natural gifts and abilities. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. There's a reason you can write well. There's a reason that you sing well. There's a reason that you create well. There's a reason there are natural born leaders. There's a reason that there are people who are naturally drawn to science and herbalists and weatherists or whatever the fuck they're called. Okay, there's a reason there are people who are called to build communities and structures and systems, people who understand astrology and nature and science and math and structures and agriculture and architecture. Do the thing you're called to do. Now's not the time. Stop playing around. At the end of the day, when we're all called home and you get asked the question, well, what did you do with your life? Oh, well, I was sitting around taking screenshots of Cardi B and worrying about who Jay-Z was sleeping with. What? Yeah, I was focused on what was going on over here, and I was too busy looking at what my neighbor was doing and judging my sister and talking down to my father and, casting judgment everywhere else, projecting your energy everywhere else when it's supposed to be inward. Learn to meditate, learn to breathe correctly, go out in nature, connect with your loved ones, do some good in the world. And if you are, then I'm not talking to you. Continue to do what you're doing. I'm talking about the people who are pump faking, pretending to be pious, pretending to be religious, pretending to be good people, but then they'll be the first people to go behind your back, condemn you to hell, call you evil, calling people all sorts of names, spreading lies, gossip, rumors, focused on all the wrong things. If you haven't stepped into your purpose, your role, whatever you are called to be a leader in, then beloved, you are wasting your time. We were all given this gift of life for a reason. We were all given certain gifts, abilities, and passions for a reason. We were all given certain gifts, talents, and abilities and interests for a reason. There's a reason you're interested in painting or sewing or creating. You don't feel whole unless you're painting or sewing. There's people who naturally feel called to bury the deceased. There's people who naturally feel compelled to write and compose music. There's a reason for that, family. We have to tap into that. As I said, the purpose of life is finding the purpose of you. And you work on that purpose until you're no longer here anymore. As you being in your purpose helps other people. God needs you to be in your purpose because there are people that will be affected by you being in your purpose, in your calling, in your walk of life. And imagine how beautiful the world will be if we all sowed those same seeds. Being in our purpose, being of service to others, focused on humanity, not a dollar, not a repay back, not what you can get out of a person, place, situation, or circumstance, but doing good for just doing good for the sake of doing good, treating others as you wish to be treated. Very simple ways of being of good light, of good humor, of good company, of good posture, being a good shepherd and a sheep, knowing when to serve, when to lead, not being indignant and entitled and ego driven and focused on dominion and power control and divisive manipulative tactics. That era is done, and we are all being called to become the bigger person, step into their highest selves. We're all being called to be the bigger person we know we can be, aka stepping into your highest self. So if you need to know what the focus should be, the focus should be you. Be the best you can be. Search for your purpose, your mission. Search for your purpose and your personal mission in life. If you don't know what that is, that's what you need to go to God about. Okay? I don't know how people have all this endless time to worry about what celebrities is doing, what that person is doing, what this person is doing. That's not what we're here for. So I'm done. I'm going to close this energy out here. I hope you guys are getting the message. Okay. Earth, the universe will always take care of itself. It will always balance itself out. And if it got to deal with us accordingly, it will deal with us accordingly. We heard these stories time and time again. From the Jurassic age to the Ice Age to biblical times it will be course corrected. Okay. So I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. I hope you guys embody this energy, spread this message to your loved ones, okay? So we can have more people in the energy of light. We need to lighten the vibration. We need to lighten the frequency on the earth, okay? For the benefit of us all. That's it. That's all. If you haven't done so already, please like this message, subscribe, and share, okay? Until next time, peace, y'all.